शङ्करांश भूम शङ्करार्यपीठसद्गुरुन् शुद्धसत्त्वभासुरान् सुवर्त्मनीतभूसुरान् सर्वभूतसौख्यदान् क्षमाकरान् यतीश्वरान्।
श्रीमते शंकरार्याय धीमते भूतशक्तये नमोऽस्त्वद्वैत सिद्धान्त स्थापनोपात्तमूर्तये श्रीहरिं परमानन्दम् उपदेष्टारमीश्वरं व्यापकं सर्वलोकानां कारणं तं नमाम्यहम् अपरोक्षानुभूतिर्वै प्रोच्यते मुक्तसिद्धये सद्भिरेव प्रयत्नेन वीक्षणीया मुहुर्मुहुः। In the last class, we had dwelt on the very important shloka, Drishtim Jnanamayim Kritva Pashyet Brahmamayam Jagat Sa Drishtihi Paramodara Na Nasagra Avalokini. Then the couple shloka of that, Drishti Darshana Drishyanam Viramo Yatra Va Bhavet Drishtihi Tatraiva Kartavya Na Nasagra Avalokini. So here in these two shlokas, the drishti, that is the perception, the Vedantic drishti, perception of the entire objective world is being taught here. So this drishti is not the physical looking at the or the focusing on the tip of the nose. That is not the idea. But then this drishti is much higher Vedantic contemplation itself. And then it has also been emphasized that the Triputi, the transcending of the Triputi or the negating of the Triputi is what is called Drishti. Drishti Darshana Drishyanam. Then Drishti is the Drishtihi Darshana Drishyanam Viramaha Yatrava Bhavete Drishtihi Tatraiva Kartavya. So Drishti Darshana Drishya is the Triputi, the seer, the seeing, and the seen. So here, drishti, by the word drishti, the pramatru, the drashta is indicated. Darshana is the act of seeing, and the drishya is the entire objective world. But then here also, we have to make a small, a kind of an extra explanation that the darshanam, the darshana kriya, also becomes the part of the drishya, that is the objective world, and the pramatru, that is the drishti, that is the seer, he is also included into the drishya, that is the he also becomes the part of the objective world. So what ultimately remains is the Atma Chaitanyam, that is the one which is illuminating all these three. So we have got a beautiful sloka also. Pramata cha pramanancha prameyam pramitisthata sporye dyekayatnena. So that beautiful shloka is there. So the pramata, the pramanam, the prameya, and that is the objective world, and the pramiti. The pramiti is the knowledge derived from this operation of the pramatru, pramana, and prameya. So the knowledge, for example, if I am trying to get the knowledge of a pot which I had not known before. So what I do is I am the knower here, and I direct the mental vritti, that is the mano vritti, through my eyes, that is the instrument, to the pot outside. So by this operation, I come to know the pot. Aham gatam janami. So that knowledge also becomes a part of the objective world in this scheme. So the Atma Chaitanyam is the only subject here. The normal subject that we call ourselves in the world, that subject is relegated to is included in the Drishya Prapancha. So this kind of a beautiful contemplation is also taught here in this sloka. And that is what is called the Drishti. And we also refer to the 6th chapter of the Gita, where the shloka also teaches about the Nasagra Avalokanam. But then here the Acharya says that that is not the idea here. Here it is not simply there also the Nasagra Avalokanam is not intended to be the main sadhana. It is only an aid to focus the mind on Brahman. So that is the idea. So here, so in these two slokas, we have seen all these things. So now we move on to the next shloka. Chittadi sarvabhaveshu brahmatvenaiva bhavanate nirodha sarvavrittinam pranayamasa uchate. So now the state of pranayama in the Ashtanga yoga, all the limbs of the yoga are taken here, but then some more limbs are also added here. So that is why we have 15 yoga sadhanas, Vedanta yoga sadhanas in this Aparokṣānubhūti, whereas 8 are there in the Patanjali yoga, but then those 8 are included here, but some more are added as 8 to those 8, but then all those 8 get a Vedantic meaning also here. So in this shloka, Chittadi sarvabhaveshu brahmatvenaiva bhavanat. So here in all the Brahmatven Aikya Bhavana. There's a reading, if anybody has got the reading in their books, Brahmatvenaiva Bhavanat, it has to be changed to Brahmatvena Aikya Bhavanat. So that is the correct reading, Brahmatvena Aikya Bhavanat. Nirodha Sarvavrittinam Pranayamaha Savuchate. So Pranayamaha is actually the regulation of breath. But then here, the idea that it is the Vedantic idea is being taught here. All the perceptions that we get, including the chitta, that is the chitta vritti or buddhi vritti or mano vritti or ahankara, all those things can be taken. All these things, because these 4 are divided in such a way that these 4 are given different functions also in the Shastra. So manas is the sankalpa vikalpatmakaham manaha, then nirnayatmaka or nishchayatmika buddhi, then chitta is the locus or abode of memory, and then ahankara is the ego. So all these are combined to be named antakarna, that is the inner organ. So here the respective functions have to be regulated and by giving the Vedantic touch. So Brahmatvena Aikya Bhavanat. So all the antakarna vrittis will have to be seen as non-different from Brahman. That is why even in the Kenopanishad, a beautiful mantra teaches that Pratibodha Viditam Matam Amritatvam hi Vindate. So that statement says, in every perception that we have in the world, in the waking and dream states, all the perceptions we have are definitely, the Upanishad says that they are actually Chaitanya Swarupam, Atma Swarupam only, appearing in those upadhis. So the Ghatakara vritti or any Jnanakara vritti, any vritti for that matter, Samshaya, Nishchaya, Sankalpa, everything is actually Brahman alone appearing in those upadhis. So for this, normally we give an analogy. We get the water supply. We get for our internal, for our consumption. That water, that supply of water, we collect and use it for various purposes. So pure water is what is used for all the things that we cook, whether it is making coffee or tea or cooking rice or sambar or payasam or whatever. This pure water, something is added to that and made something else. So this pure water is there in all of the things that we make out of it. So here also the same way, this pure Chaitanya Swarupam Atma alone is taking various upadhis. Through various upadhis, it is getting the names of Ghatakara vritti or Samshayakara vritti or Nishchayakara vritti or Bhayakara vritti, Krodhakara vritti. Everything is that only. So with those upadhis. So the idea is, if you remove the upadhis intellectually and try to perceive the Atman there, the pure Atman there, that is an Atma sadhana. So the Upanishad teaches that alone. So here also the same thing is stated here. So in the commentary, the Acharya says, Atha pranayamam lakshayati mano adhinatvat pranasya mano nirodhenaiva prana nirodha natu prana nirodhenaiva patanjalabhimbatena mano nirodha. tadadhinatva abhavaditi palitartha. So the Acharya in the commentary is showing the contrast between this Vedantic pranayama and the Patanjali system pranayama. There, in the Patanjali system, pranayama, that is the control of breath or regulation of breath, is an aid to quieten the mind. Quieten the mind, that is the mano nirodha, chittavirti nirodha is their objective. So to aid that, pranayama is taught there. So the control of breath is an aid to, it leads to control of mind. But that is not the case here. The Acharya clarifies. Here, the control of mind is, that alone results in the control of regulation of breath. So when there's a peaceful mind or a calm mind, the breath also is very, very regulated, and it is almost imperceptible when a person is in a deep contemplation or in a very, very nice, in a very, very contemplative mood. So these things can be experienced also in our lives. So here the Acharya brings out that distinction. So here the mind control is an aid to breath control and not the opposite, which is the case in the Patanjali system. So after saying this, when we talk of pranayama, there are three main or important types of pranayama. That is breathing in, then breathing out, and then retaining the breath inside. So these three are given different names. Breathing in is puraka, breathing out is rechaka, and retaining is called kumbhaka. So these are all very important, and they have their own methods and proportions and all that. A guru will, a competent guru would guide an aspirant in those things. So here, these three things are given a different name altogether in Vedanta. So Nishedhanam prapanchasya rechakakyaha samiranaha brahmaivasmiti ya vrittihi purakaha vayuriritaha. So here, the three are given in three lines here. So in this shloka 119, the first two are given. In this 120, the first line, the third one is stated. So here, Nishedhanam prapanchasya rechakakyaha samiranaha. Samiranaha is pranayama. Nishedhanam prapanchasya rechakakyaha. So Nishedhanam prapanchasya means negating the world. That is, it is something you give up. So that is something which you breathe out. So the idea that the world is there and the world is real and all that has been there due to avidya. So now this exercise asks us to consciously negate the reality of the world. So Nishedhanam prapanchasya, nishedha is negating the world, neti neti or nasti, manobuddhi ahankara chittani naham in one way, and then na bhumir na toyaha, that shloka is also there, Dasha Shloki, where the Panchabhautika, the Bhautika Prapancha, which includes the body mind complex, is negated. So the sadhaka, he contemplates that I am not the body, I am not the mind, and I am not anything to do with the world. That is, the body mind will be can be seen as the ahankara. That is, I have got the I idea with respect to the body mind, which I am not really, and then I have got the mine idea. That is, these things belong to me, these people belong to me, these objects belong to me. That is outside the body mind complex, or is the whole world. So there, a selected part, certain items, certain people, certain persons, certain objects, these are all claimed by us as mine, dear to me, near and dear to me. So the whole thing is now seen as the Panchabhautika Prapancha, and then that is being negated here. Nishedhanam prapanchasya rechakakiha. So in breathing out, we leave out something. So what we had in us. So that imagery is here. Rechakakiha samiranaha. Then brahmaivasmiti yavriti purakaha vayuriti. So this purakaha, rechakakyaha, rechaka air, that is vayu, is called prapancha nishedhanam, and the puraka, that is taking in, breathing in, or taking in from outside, is the assertion of the idea that I am Brahman. So brahmaivasmiti yavritihi, Purakaha Vayuriritaha. So the Puraka Vayu, that is what we take in is the assertion of I am Brahman, and what we give out or leave out is the negation of the world. So here, what we have to give up is stated first. Then what we have to assert and retain is this. And then, of course, retention is a different pranayama. There also that assertion with more force is being taught. So here in the commentary, the Acharya says, Amum pranayamam swabhimatena rechakadi vibhagatrayena lakshayati sardhena. So in 3 lines, this Vedantic pranayama is being taught here. So moving on to 120, Shloka 120. Tatastad vritti naishchalyam kumbakaha pranasanyamaha. So then retaining the idea that I am Brahman and the world is not there is stated to be the Kumbaka pranasanyama is Kumbaka exercise of prana, regulation of prana, breath. Ayanchapi prabuddhanam ajnanam granapidanam. So here in the second line of the 120 shloka, the Acharya says, this kind of, these 3 types of Vedantic pranayama, that is Rechaka, Puraka and Kumbaka, is for the exalted or matured, top-notch aspirants. And the real pranayama, that is of controlling the breath and all that, is for the novices. That's what he says. Ajnanam granapidanam. Granapidanam means actually he is giving us a kind of a sarcastic, using a sarcastic word here. That is giving some pain, causing pain to the prana. That is the grana and the prana. The grana is the nose. That is, he has to hold the nose for this pranayama, so that he is giving a sarcastic touch to it. But then that is very, very important in Patanjali yoga system. It is very seriously practiced, and that is also we are not Vedanta is not against that. Vedanta also needs that a lot. So here, but then the Vedantic pranayama is said to be this, and that the Acharya says is for the very, very mature aspirants. So in the commentary, tataha iti anatma upeksha atmanusandhana taddadhyani rechakadi shabdavachyani iti bhavartaha. So the essence of these 3 lines, that is the 3 types of pranayama, Rechaka, Puraka and Kumbaka. The essence is that the Atma Upeksha, Anatma Upeksha, that is the non-self, that is the not self, that is the world, which includes the body-mind complex and the outside world, the disregarding of it. Upeksha is disregarding. So disregarding, because we cannot destroy it, we cannot throw it away physically, all that is not possible. So intellectually giving a very, very focused sadhana on the Jagan Nasti or Jagan Mithya idea. So Anatma Upeksha, so what it translates to is disregarding the world. So Anatma Upeksha is the number 1. Atma Anusandhana, that is I am Brahman, the assertion that I am Brahman is the second one. And the third, that's the first one corresponds to Rechaka, that is breathing out. The second one corresponds to breathing in, that is Puraka. And the third one, Kumbaka, that is retention of the breath which has been taken in. That for that, the corresponding Vedantic sadhana is Dardhyam. Dardhyam is to emphasize, to seriously, very seriously focus upon and assert that the world is not there and I am Brahman. So Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. So Brahmaivaham idam jagatcha sakalam chinmatra vistaritam sarvam chaitad avidyaya trigunaya asheshena kalpitam maya. So asheshena maya kalpitam. So in that Manisha Panchakam, the second shloka is very, very nice for this contemplation. Brahmaivaham idam jagatcha sakalam chinmatra vistaritam. I am Brahman, and this whole world is pervaded by my consciousness. That is, my consciousness alone is appearing as the world. Then sarvam chaitad avidyaya trigunaya ashesham maya kalpitam. All this entire world, which includes the body-mind complex, is is imagined by me out of avidya. So this kind of contemplation is what is meant by this Vedantic pranayama here, taught in this shlokas. Then the commentary Acharya, in the commentary the Acharya proceeds to say, Nanu ayam trividhopi pranayamaha na kutrapi srutaha iti apekshayam atra adhikarinam aha ardhena. So we have never heard of this kind of pranayama. By pranayama, we know only the breathing in and breathing out and retention. That is what is very popular. So this kind of Vedantic pranayama is not heard of anywhere. So for that, he takes that as an advantage. So the question comes up with a view to disregard that Vedantic pranayama, discredit that Vedantic pranayama because it's not at all popular. It is not stated in any books and all that. So here, the Acharyas takes that jibe as a positive approval for this kind of this Vedantic pranayama, and he says the adhikaris, the aspirants, the candidates for this Vedantic pranayama, they are of a different class altogether. That's what he says now. Ayam upalakshanaha pranayamaha. So this ayam in the second line of that 120 to Shloka 120, ayam chapi prabuddhanam ajnanam. So ayam means this. What is this? This means the pranayama, that is the Vedantic pranayama taught in these 3 lines. So that's what is meant by this ayam. Ayam uktalakshanaha pranayamaha. Chakarat bhedatrayam bhedatrayuktaha ityarthaha. So ayam cha. So ayam cha, in that cha means this pranayama, which is of 3 types. That is the puraka, rechaka, puraka, and kumbhaka. This is what is meant by cha. Then ityarthaha. Prabuddhanam prakarshena asambhavanadi rahitattvena buddhanam atmabodha-yuktanam. So in this sloka, the word prabuddha is used. Prabuddha means someone who is enlightened, someone who is extremely very, very well informed about these Vedantic methods and all that. And it can go up to the level of the Aparoksha Jnani himself. So here he says, for that, Prabuddhanam prakarshena asambhavanadi rahitattvena buddhana. So this asambhavanadi rahita, there are 3 types of wrong knowledge or lack of knowledge. So that is given 3 names here: apratipatti, vipratipatti, and samshaya. So apratipatti means not knowing anything about a particular subject or topic or concept. Then vipratipatti is knowing that concept wrongly in a erroneous way. That is called vipratipatti. Then samshaya is having a doubt about the concept. So these 3 are defects or obstacles to right knowledge, and all these 3 will have to be tackled in the appropriate way and transcended. So regarding the Atman, the apratipatti is not knowing anything about Atman, Brahman, the world, the connection between the aikyam between the Atman and Brahman, the connection between the Brahman and the world, Atman and the world. All these things are not known to a person who is not exposed to Vedanta. So when it comes to Vedanta Shravana, that kind of ignorance is gone. That is, he transcends that kind of ignorance because he knows by through the Shastram and through the Acharya's teachings about the world, the Brahman, and about himself also. He comes to know about it intellectually. He gets information about it. And that information is, if it is subject to doubt, then he has to tackle it by mananam and all that. Then viparita bhavana, that is, he has been taking himself to be a finite individual who is subject to birth, death, miseries, and all that. That is one misconception, misconception, viparita bhavana. And the other viparita bhavana is about the reality of the world. So the world has been taken to be real in every birth. This has been emphasized, and the ignorance about oneself and the ignorance about the world, these both get emphasized in every birth. So they get strengthened in each and every birth. These two types of ignorances or misconceptions, they get strengthened. So the purpose of Nididhyasanam will be to weaken that idea of reality of the world and the idea of the finitude of the Atman, and with the help of the Vedantic teaching and Manana, to impress upon oneself clearly that one is Brahman alone and never this body-mind complex purely Jiva, and the world is not real. So this is called Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, and each one of these will tackle each one of the corresponding hurdles, obstacles. So asambhavanadi rahitatvena buddhanam. So a person can be said to be knowledgeable or enlightened only if he is transcending all these three obstacles. Only when he crosses over these three obstacles by taking recourse to Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana under the guidance of the competent Guru. Prabhuddhanam prakarshena asambhavanadi rahitatvena buddhana. So Buddha is actually a person who is enlightened. So here the word pra, that is the prefix pra, is used to show the excellence in the person. So that's why the Acharya gives that extra explanation that he is the one who has transcended these three, or who has gone above the three obstacles. Then Nischandeha aparoksha jnaninam ityarthaha. So ultimately what it means is Nisandeha aparoksha jnaninam ityarthaha. So a person is free from all doubts. That's why in that Mundaka Shloka, famous Mundaka Shloka, Vidyate hridaya grantihi chidyante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. So when this Atman is, when a person gets the direct realization of the Atman, which is not different from Brahman, what happens is the basic, the mula avidya, that is the basic ignorance, that gets dispelled. Then sarva samshayaha, all doubts that he had before about his own nature, about the world, all those doubts are completely gone. And then all his karmas also come to an end. So this is the meaning of the mantra. So this person is that enlightened person who has had this direct realization, who has had the effect of that realization also. Yogyaha ityadhyaharaha. So here the Acharya says in the shloka, ayam chapi prabuddhanam ajnanam granapidanam. So ayam cha, in this three type pranayama, that is Vedantic pranayama, is for this person who is a yogya. Yogya is his person who is fit to have this, fit to practice this kind of pranayama and attain the result of final enlightenment. Ityadhyahara. Tarhi ajnanam kidrishaha ityadaha. Then what is the kind of pranayama for the ignorant persons, or who was aprabuddha? For Prabuddha, you have said that the Vedantic pranayama is the one which is fit for them, which is recommended for them, and which is also mandatory for them. Whereas for the others, who are not enlightened, or who are not into the path of the Jnana Yoga, then what is the practice? What is the pranayama for them? For that the shloka says, Ajnanam Granapidanam. So for those who are not exposed to this Vedantic ways, methods, for them the real pranayama, that is the pranayama of regulating the breath, is what is that is what is for them. That pranayama is recommended, or that is that yogya pranayama is for them only. Whereas for them, for the others, that is the enlightened ones, or for those in the Jnana Yoga, for them this Vedantic pranayama is what is recommended. So here we will end this session. Sriharim Paramanandam Upadeshtaram Ishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham Aparokṣānubhūti Prochyate Mokṣasiddhaye Sadbhireva Prayatnena Vikshaniya Muhurpuhu Shastram Sharirami-mamsa Devastu Parameshwaraha Acharya Shankaracharya Santume Janma Janmani विद्याविनयसम्पन्नं वीतरागं विवेकिनं वन्दे वेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञं विदुषेखरभारतीम् ॐ तत्सत्।